So Paul is here. Paula, can you please mute yourself so we can test your tone, your sound?
Okay, now can you see me?
Oh, wow. Yeah. My God, Kirsty. Paul?
Hello.
I have a pool. I have everything.
Oh my gosh, I only have red wine.
I have rosé because it's nice and cold, nice and hot. What can I say?
Oh wow, you have an amazing, you're the only one on property at the moment. Fantastic.
Well, it's public holiday, so we're all here. So it's the National Day weekend, hence my flag. So it's 3 days holiday. So first, second, and third, we take 3 days for National Day. So here we are.
Wow. I think, Rob, you also have a holiday, right? I got an out of office message and I was like, right?
He's always on holiday.
Yeah, because my because my contract is UAE and I'm Dubai based. I also have these 3 days off as well. So yes, so I'm celebrating the National Day holidays.
Well, thank you for celebrating with us.
I have to keep on. I have to keep on brand. So we're a Saudi company, so I'm only allowed a coffee. So, and it genuinely is a coffee.
That's true. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. You have to be careful.
The Christmas tree is slightly off brand, but hey, that's okay. It's a festive.
They're very tolerant in Saudi these days, so
They are.
Absolutely. So, Paul, you are drinking water. I have my Blue Faces wine.
Okay.
Nikki Beach brand rosé.
Oh, I love that. Can you send it over?
Oh, you can come to us, Astrid. It's much better. You come to me. You'll have much more fun, especially in the heart of winter.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I'd love to. Rob, I like your new hairstyle. You went to the hairdresser just because of us. Cool.
Yes. Yeah, I thought I should tidy up after 3 weeks in lockdown. So yeah.
True. Hey, Timo.
Hello.
Hello. All good? Say something so we can hear that, see and hear you well. Timo?
Yes, hello?
Yeah, okay, good, perfect. I'm
sorry, I thought you heard me before.
No, it was just an hello. It was not enough for me to test it, actually.
Well, that's a nice setup. Kirsty is...
Join me anytime.
Good,
awesome.
so how cool is that, huh? And we had our first snow here in Germany today when we woke up. Yeah, it was like, I mean, up here in Frankfurt, you didn't have any, Timo, up north?
No snow here.
We did. So we have 1 more minute to go, and everyone is flying in at the moment. So guys, hello. We are always starting quite on time, so because we are a German-based company, I guess. So that's probably one of the reasons. Hello, everybody. All right. Wow, we got a lot of wonderful people coming in, and yeah. Let's see, let's just wait 1 more moment until it is 5 p.m. Wonderful. And then we get going. Hey, cheers from Hamburg. Good evening. Hi, Astrid. Good to see you, Luca. Olaf. Hey, greetings to Italy. Wonderful. Yeah, you're at the beautiful Villa Wine Resort at the moment as well. Hello, everybody. Who's there? Hanover, south of France. The panel is looking good, isn't it, huh? Hey, good evening. Claudia, hi there. Hello from Zurich. Oh my gosh, so we are really having again from Dubrovnik, from touring Israel. Hey, it's good to see you. Hi, Gianluca from Rome, Italy. Wonderful, guys. Aspen, Colorado. Here we go. That's Timo. Wow. That's one of your fans, probably.
Yeah.
Greek, Kalispera from Paradise Island Villas in Crete, Greece. We got St. Petersburg, Tampa, Florida.
Awesome.
Awesome. Hey, guys. Exactly. So cool. Yeah, I think we should start because we're on time while people are still coming in. And so we can, because we have a lot of content. We have a lot to say, I would say. We have a lot of good news as well. I mean, let's put it that way. We created Loop Faces. This is our 11th edition, and we created it in April when we were all in lockdown. Now we're kind of in lockdown again, so nothing much changed. But you know, we keep on looking at the silver lining ahead of us, and we keep on going. And I'm so honored to have this wonderful 5 colleagues and friends and speakers today here that will share their wisdom, but also their positive spirit, and share also their, their knowledge where they are in different places of the world at the moment, so we can see where we are going and heading. My name is Astrid Oberhummer, for those who do not know me. I'm the founder and CEO of Lobster Experience, together with my partner, Andreas. And we are also the founders of Loop, the luxury travel show for the German-speaking and the Central Eastern European markets. Other than that, we're specialists in sales, marketing, PR. We have 30 wonderful lobsters that work with us, for us, and all together, and we're based in Frankfurt. Now, let me introduce my wonderful colleagues here. I'm going to start with Paul. Paul is born and raised in Chicago. Actually, you have an American and a British passport, I believe. And you look back at an impressive career in hospitality. You graduated from the University in Wisconsin back in the US. And then you moved with Swiss Hotel, who you worked for 7 years, from the US to Thailand and then to the UK. Paul, you then worked for prestige hotels like Ian Traeger or Index Express, and then you started working for Rosewood Hotels and Resorts, and you're with this company 10 years now. Rosewood is a family-owned company and has an inspiring female leadership, which I think is great nowadays. Sonia Chang, she became CEO when she was 30 years young. And at the same time, you also started. She has 4 children. She's now 39, and she's just a real example of female leadership. And I think not so many people know this about Rosewood Hotels and Resorts. So we want to talk about inspiring people and looking forward. Plus, your expansion is amazing. You're going to be opening 16 new hotels, or in the plan. So for us, in lockdown and in the situation we are, the silver lining is amazing. Hearing from you what you guys are planning, because yes, there's a perspective out there. So very warm welcome, Paul. You're based in Madrid.
Yes,
in Spain. You moved there 2 years ago because you fell deeply in love with someone, right?
That's exactly right. And the weather.
And the weather, for sure. Yeah, then we'll move to Dubai, and we have wonderful Kirsty Danks-Brown in her amazing office sitting there. Kirsty, I just love you. You are an inspiration, and you are a power woman. You are such a powerhouse, and it's just wonderful to always speak with you. And when I talked to you the other day, you said Dubai is on fire, and we want to hear what's going on in Dubai, because that's really cool news. I would like to tell a little bit about Kirsty. Kirsty was born in Papua New Guinea in Australia. You're the only person I ever met that was born there, I have to say. And you also have an impressive career throughout your life. It's way too not enough time to mention everything, but you had a very good diversity and always quite challenging projects, I have to say. You worked for Park Hyatt Maldives, Hada, based in Dubai, where you were responsible for the rebranding of the Park Hyatt's first Maldives property. You worked in Cambodia for Sofitel Luxury Hotel as area director of sales and marketing. Also for Sofitel Luang Prabang and Three Nagas by McGallery Lars as GM. You moved to Abu Dhabi. You worked as a pre-opening director of sales and marketing for Bab Al Quasar Hotel and Residence. You worked for Shangri-La Vilingeli Resort and Spa in the Maldives, etc., etc. Amazing, amazing experience. And now you are with Nikki Beach Resort and Spa, Nikki Beach Club Dubai, and sitting at the beautifully waterfront at Pearl Jumeira, right? Nikki Beach is a special product. It's 117 stunning rooms and 15 villas as well as 15 private pool villas and 63 lifestyle residences. It's very special because it's hip, it's modern, but it's still luxurious and lifestyle-y, and it's just amazing. I had the pleasure to be there, and we will hear from you what's going on in Dubai. Very warm welcome, Kirsty.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So now we're staying in this area kind of. We're moving over to Rob Arrow. It's a great pleasure to have you here as well. Amazing career. My God, you know so many people, and I think most of the people that know you from the 10 group in the UK, where you were global hotel supplier manager for 8 years, and you built up the entire partnership program for 750 of the best hotels of the world. Then you moved to Dubai as head of product for Dinata, which is part of the Emirates Group, and where there are more than 5 years. And now you work for a company in Saudi Arabia, which is super exciting. You must love this region, as a product development director and head of concierge service at Seera Group in Riyadh. You have several roles there. First of all, developing Discover Saudi, which is the first and only DMC for Saudi, incoming into the country, and really putting lots of plans on expanding, and we are really excited to hear what's going on there. Plus, you are also head of concierge service for this more outgoing, for all these wonderful Saudi and Kuwait luxury families that I think every hotelier would love to have as a business. And yeah, I mean, a big role, a big expansion. You're originally from the UK, and now you live, actually, you commute back and forth, Riyadh and the Lebanon, you in Beirut. You also moved there because you had somebody who really, how do you say, you fell in love with someone, or how do you say that? Same like Paul, you guys are moving, but Lebanon must be beautiful, and so you're commuting between those two cities. I loved it when I was watching you on Facebook, and you told me that you had 21 COVID tests in the last couple of months and weeks. 21 COVID tests because you had to travel on business, no matter if it's Portugal, France, or wherever you were. And I think we share something in common. You said we have to showcase that travel is possible as long as we're responsible and we don't break any laws. That's the most important thing. And if we don't travel in the travel industry, then I don't know who. So would like to hear more about that. And 21 COVID tests, I think this is definitely a record. Very warm welcome, Rob.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, and last but not least, it's a pleasure to welcome Timo. Timo is based up in Hanover in Germany, up north, we say. And Timo, together with his sister Julia, owns America Unlimited, one of the leading tour operators for North America, and a luxury tour operator called Feinreisen. Together, they employ about 25 wonderful people, and he's also the founder of the advertising agency Prima Mater. Timo completed his Bachelor of Arts in Advertising at Bucks University in London and studied 3 years at Design Factory International at Hamburg. So you are a real marketing guy, that's for sure. Timo is also known as a business punk. I wonder why. A business punk in the advertising and tourism industry, and because you are different, you are bold, you do different campaigns in our very traditional market here. Obviously, it's a good sign. We want people to be different. And because it's a little bit more conservative here. On an annual basis, America Unlimited is awarded with the Chairman Circle Honor Awards of the US Travel Association as one of the world's leading tour operators. So that's really, really cool. And yeah, what have you done the last couple of months? You never stand still. That's for sure, because you are someone who never had the chance to stay still. This is a little personal story, but I think it shows us why you are who you are, because with 22, you had to take over the company with your sister because your father passed away. So in a very, very, very young age, you had to take responsibility, and you just never stop, and you keep on going wonderfully. You just created a new travel brand called Concierge. obviously, concierge. You also were politically very active in here in Germany for the travel industry, and what also one of your big achievements with colleagues was to secure government funds for the travel agencies. And by the way, you also started a podcast series which is available on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon. So it's a great pleasure to welcome Timo, our business punk here at our Loop Faces Talk. Welcome, Timo.
What an introduction. Thank you so much, Astrid.
Yeah, it's difficult. You all have so much to say, and I just really to break it down. Well, I would love to start with Rob. Robin is sitting in Beirut at the moment, and as I have mentioned, you work for Seera. Seera operates an outbound travel as well as inbound. And talking about your concierge services to the Middle East market first, how do you see that? Is there any change of a travel behavior of the Middle East clients happening because of Corona? What is happening there? Share us, please. I would love to hear from your part of the world what's going on.
Okay, thank you, Astrid. Yeah, absolutely. So obviously there are still a number of quarantines in place. There's some restrictions for outbound travel for leisure perspective at the moment. But I think one of the exciting and interesting things that we have seen and we are seeing from our clients and customers at the moment is that there is a want for new travel experiences. Mm-hmm. So obviously in the past, very much destinations like London, Paris, Milan in the summer, Switzerland, etc., were very big destinations. Obviously, Dubai is a hugely big destination for weekend breaks from Saudi Arabia and from Kuwait. That we don't think will change. People, the sentiment is that everyone still really wants to travel. Dubai is one of the first places that many of them will want to go to. But what we're seeing is new experiences coming through. A lot more requests are coming in and wanting to understand things like yachting and cruising. We've obviously in Saudi Arabia, they brought one of the Silver Seas ships to the Red Sea this summer as an initiative by the government, and it did 3 and 4 night cruises. This was the first time that a lot of Saudi Arabian clients had access to such an experience, and a luxury experience it was too. So now we're seeing a lot of them are asking, how does cruising work around the world? We're getting a lot of more requests for sort of very unique cruises such as Quirk expeditions or Carlton yachts coming on board. We're getting them asking for that. But also, I think a lot of people have had a lot of time, and this probably isn't just in the region, but a lot of people have had time to research, to watch documentaries on Netflix, to see different cultures, to see the world, obviously through a screen at the moment, but have had more time than ever before to really learn and understand that more. And with that, there comes an intrigue, there comes an interest, and we're seeing also requests for safaris, which we never really used to see before. We're seeing people wanting to go to further afield destinations. In some cases, because they feel that if it's less crowded, it will be safer. So we're seeing requests now for Iceland for the winter period, South America, destinations which really we didn't see at all before. The Caribbean as well. A lot of our clients want to go back to the US, but they also want to have some time together. So they're looking at the Caribbean islands or the South Pacific, for instance, as well. So we're really seeing this change taking place, which is really fantastic because it kind of means we have the traditional destination, so no one needs to worry. They're still probably going to go. They're probably going to Dubai straight away once they can travel. Which I know that Dubai will be with open arms waiting, and I'm sure Kirsty's excited for the day that border the leisure travel. But obviously, yeah, we're seeing also this really exciting interest in destinations and experiences that they never would have probably contemplated before.
Wow, very cool, Rob. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that's great silverless linings coming ahead, and the attitude is changing as well. Thank you so much. Paul, Rosewood Hotels and Resorts. I mentioned amazing leadership, Sonia Chang, your CEO, and a very young lady, and she's heading it. Also, it's very difficult. Now, I think I thought we should need to know about this philosophy and what are the values and why is it so special? Why is Rosewood such a special hotel management company? Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Astrid. Well, I think, what makes Rosewood really special, I mean, it has to go down to Sonia Chang's management. When she bought the company, as you said, 9 years ago, she was 30 years old. She grew up in hotels. She's from Hong Kong. Her father was a hotelier. She played in the hotel. She lived in the hotel. She was always being groomed for the hotel. And so, after she did her university and working for some management consultant and finance companies, she came back to her true love. And she really wanted to develop a company for the next generation of travelers. People are looking for experiences and authenticity. So when she bought the company, she embraced the philosophy, sense of place. And this is crucial to really understanding who Rosewood is, and when I always talk about Rosewood, you have to talk about sense of place. So it's about embracing the local talents, from the culture to the history to the people, and really embracing it, bringing it into the hotel. From every aspect, from the uniforms, or we call them wardrobes, of our colleagues, they're designed by young fashion designers like Hotel de Crillon, to the artwork, where we bring in local talent artists to really showcase their artwork. At Rosewood London, we have the Scarf Bar. And it's Gerald Scarf is a famous London artist, and he's really showcasing caricatures of the royal family, celebrities, heads of states, even Angela Merkel's up on the wall, to the gastronomy experiences, and really bring in local chefs to showcase the food. And I have a really favorite story here. I mean, in Phuket, we had the managing director was looking for a chef to come in to cook. And he stumbled across this elderly couple working at a beach stall in Phuket. And he just fell in love with the authenticity of the food. And so he brought him in, and now the restaurant is a Michelin star. And so Sonia is all about creating and inspiring people to push the boundaries, innovation, creativity. She recently called upon 2,000 students in hotel degrees to come and create the brand for the next generation of travelers. And so she's always, so she's always looking for, new inspiration and pushing the boundaries, so we say, creating this this momentum. We call it a momentum. So, and the other aspect that I think that she's done a great job is really the culture. And it's really true. It's about the spirit of the people, and really showing a genuine care, not only for our clients and our partners like yourselves, but also for the employees. And if there's one thing we've really learned over these past couple of months, it's the care that we've shown within the company, because we're all locked away in these little offices working from home, and most of us aren't used to working from home. So we set up like this buddy system. So on the corporate side, we call each other. I have a buddy that I call, and you talk about the latest Netflix to also work things as well, of course. So we're just kind of checking in and making sure that not everybody is lonely. And the other great initiative that Sonia really did is, and really down to herself, is create this Rosewood Raise. And some of our colleagues have had some financial difficulties during these past couple of months, like many of us. So we raised about $3.5 million, and every employee in the company can apply for a grant of $1,500. So
that's very, very cool.
Yeah. So
that's very cool. Yeah, that shows your DNA, the DNA of the company. Absolutely. I think many people don't know that, so it's great you're sharing this. Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's super. I think, we see companies that are doing very well in this crisis when it comes to social competence, and we see companies that are doing terribly. And we'll see, it's going to reflect in the future for sure. Here we have a lady, Kirsty, who is in her office, who is doing very well. Hey, Kirsty, Dubai is on fire. And you as well, because you're so busy. Tell us what's going on.
Well, look, as a hotel, we never closed. And we have been very privileged because we have 15 villas and it's just the right product for COVID. But I think anyone that knows me knows that I think I love Dubai almost as much as I love my own country. I'm extremely patriotic towards Dubai, and this country has just done everything right when it comes to COVID. I think our leaders had some incredible forethought. I mean, our bathrooms are all touchless, for goodness sake. We're the most cleanest country in the world. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in COVID. And we just managed to manage everything really, really well. So if you look at Dubai now, we're I would say we're back to normal. It's a new normal. It's a little bit different. Other than social distancing and we wear masks, it's almost business as usual here. And what we found is that we've just, ever since we came out of lockdown on, say, the 7th of July, I mean, we were, as a hotel and for many of the beach hotels, we were very lucky because we were well supported by our domestic market. But as soon as we came out of border closure, people just started to flock to us. The colder it gets in Europe, I'm so happy because you guys know that you can either work from home in your flat in the middle of London and freezing cold in the dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or you can work on my beach because I've got great Wi-Fi. And we're getting a lot of people that are working from home in Dubai. We have people that have been here for months and months and months that are in the country. And I mean, at Dubai, just with respect, there's been some great governments out there and they've done some fantastic things in COVID. But I sincerely think we got it right. Medically, we get it right. Distance from every other location in the world, we get it right. Emirates and Etihad just nailed it completely with their COVID insurance and their connectivity. You know, we have the sand, we have shopping, we have an element of nightlife, we have activity, and we've got the weather at the moment. So, guys, I mean, I wish you were outside with me at the moment because it's beautiful. Glorious. It's just magnificent.
Beautiful.
I mean, Dubai is, for me, it's the center of the world. But if you would want to be anywhere during COVID, Dubai is exactly where you want to be. So we're very lucky, or the UAE in general, to be honest.
That's true. But you have a great mixture of all over the world. You also have Europeans coming in, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have everybody, and I mean, even the countries that are on complete border control. I know that on, I think it was the 5th of November, UK lockdown. Every flight out of the UK, whether it was Manchester, Heathrow, wherever, was absolutely chock-a-block in the days leading up to. We saw our reservations go completely ballistic, and not just ourselves, obviously all of the hotels. So yeah, we just seem to attract an awful lot of people. We've got something for everybody, but we're also incredibly safe. So you know that you're coming to a destination that's well controlled. I would have to take my hat off to municipality, DTCM, everybody that has ensured that the processes are in place and that the hotels follow all of the right regulations. So I mean, you know, I've been here for 16 years. I've never felt safer than anywhere else in my life in this country.
It's great news. That's fantastic. It seems so far away for us in Europe. So it's really amazing to hear. Thank you so much, Kirsty. Timo, we're going to Germany. We're looking at all the different changes of travel behavior. You said you were convinced that the German market will recover again in luxury travel in a very, very healthy way. Why is that? What is happening here? And what are the trends?
Yeah, well, I've actually talked about that a couple of times in the past few months, and I actually started off very early, even in probably April, May already, doing some webinars there with mostly my American folks that we talked to. What I think is, and that's pretty something that has proven to be right over the past few decades. Always luxury market always comes back first, and they, like Germany specifically, I think handled the crisis really well. So I think there was a lot of support provided from the government to lots of companies, which secured a lot of jobs. We have the so-called Kurzarbeit, which I think a lot of you have kind of heard about. It's kind of paid furlough thing in Germany. So a lot of companies took advantage of that. And so I think we got through the crisis really, really well. Plus there is a pretty high income in Germany anyways. Plus we have the like 30 days of vacation here in Germany, which has always been true. But it will probably even extend into next year because a lot of people weren't really able to take their vacation next year. So they will, you know, transfer it into the next year, or at least a little part of it. So they will probably have 30 days plus of vacation in next year. And what you can literally see, and Astrid, you have mentioned it before, we have we kind of founded a new brand called Concierge, which is basically the world's first Corona travel agency, which was mainly obviously a PR stunt that we were trying to do with that. But what we recognized in the first few days that we launched it is that people were like so eager to travel, and they, you know, we got so many inquiries, and they so wanted to travel, and they are all basically in a holding position and waiting for travel to resume basically. So what you can see is there's a really high demand, and unless in like in other markets, you know, I think like Germany is really holding on, waiting for some kind of a go, or, you know, borders opening up, travel being safer, or having, you know, some kind of structure, and then from there on, I think we will see crazy last minute bookings next year, and then I think we will be back to a normal behavior even in 22, 23 already, and because I think people have literally been stuck and been waiting to travel again, and yeah, and I think overall, as I mentioned, I think Germany did really well in the crisis overall, and I think a lot of you guys all over the world have kind of heard about that as well, and that kind of shows that you know, people, you know, can adapt to new situations, but are literally waiting to get out there again as soon as they are. And Germany stays, and it has always been true, world championships in traveling. So they've always won that part, I think, because of yeah, the days of vacation that we have and so on. Plus, and that's something that's very cool, I think, is within coming more to our company, if you're talking about Feinreisen and also American Unlimited, what we saw is that more than 50% of our clients actually took vouchers or actually rebooked to next year. So we have like at least like 50% of the people actually being on hold, literally waiting to use their vouchers, not necessarily for the product that they've booked before, but maybe also for something that's possible sooner than later. So I think it's a great value to kind of work with these people that have been there and that have the vouchers, and that basically have a credit with us also. They want to use that anytime soon. So I think we have a lot of advantages there. So yeah, that's kind of how I think Germany will develop. And hearing from many partners from ours around the world is also that I think Germany is already ranging in the top tier, like top 3 probably markets that they will come back in the first. And I think that's really something I'm probably trying to get across here as well. We are ready, and we are just really waiting for things.
Good silver linings. Thank you, Timo. Plus, Germany has 10 public holidays, plus 30 vacation days. As an entrepreneur like me, 40 days, I'm freaking out, you know. Yeah. Honestly, that's just a lot. Yeah, it's really a lot. Great. Thanks, Timo, for this insight. Rob, we're looking for new things, new trends. I think you have something really exciting on your hands. Discover Saudi. Saudi Arabia wants to open up internationally. I think this is really cool. I cannot wait for my first farm trip to come and see you. So tell us, why can guests, so what can they expect from this beautiful country, which I learned and heard, and share with us what is going on, please.
Sure. So obviously, Saudi is going through a huge evolution at the moment, and it's fantastic to. I'm very honored and very privileged to be part of that. It's in my small way and seeing what is happening at the moment. The country obviously had opened up last year to tourism and has a huge amount of projects in place. And one of the fantastic things that I've witnessed and been part of is that the government of Saudi Arabia has continued throughout this pandemic to invest in its tourism development program. It's continuing with its giga projects across the whole of the country. It's an incredibly diverse destination as well. I think a lot of people have obviously heard of the country. For many years, it was off limits for different reasons, and a lot of people hadn't really been there, but a lot of people were traveling to Dubai, a lot of people were coming to Abu Dhabi, they were on a flight, they were flying over the top of Saudi Arabia, but it was this vast area which was like, oh, I've never been, or it was oil, or it was for whatever reason, and a lot of people would travel there for religious purposes, for Hajj and Umrah. But obviously now that's changed. There are already some natural, historical and cultural places that are there. Many people have probably already seen that there is Al Ula, which obviously as a destination, and I was very fortunate to have been there a number of times as part of the Winter at Tantura Festival last year. To see it in its infancy and its raw state is just amazing, and something that I will hold close to me for many, many years to come, well, forever, to be honest. It's stunning. It's a stunning destination. And this is obviously naturally there. However, we are going to, there are a lot of developments in place at the moment to elevate that to an incredibly luxurious destination. There's a lot of hotel groups at the moment that are planning to come into the area. There are some hotels which are being redeveloped and taken over by luxury brands. I know Banyan Tree is coming in. Four Seasons are looking at a property there. Amman Resorts are looking at a property. And that's just one very small area, which is full, as I say, of Nabatean history. And then if you move away from there, you have the capital, Riyadh. You have Diriyah, which is the original capital of Saudi Arabia, which again is going through its own evolution, and its history is going to be invested in heavily there as well. And then you have the beauty of the Red Sea. Obviously, all the way down the west coast, you have the most stunning coastline. A lot of it is still virgin; it's not really ever been touched. The coral is very much in its natural state still. And the great thing is, as I say, as part of what the kingdom and the government and the king and the crown prince are doing, is making sure that they look at the sustainable approach as well. They don't just want to build, they don't just want to create there and then not think of the environment, think of the future. This is something that they're spending a lot of time to do. They're thinking about how this is sustainable for the future. And you see this in development. You have the Red Sea project, you have Amala. There is so much happening on the Red Sea coast, which is obviously very new. Even the city of Jeddah, they've announced that the Formula One will take place there next year. So there will be a Formula One event in Jeddah. And obviously there is a great Rosewood hotel, which is going to be part of it or be next to it because it's a street race and it will go along the Corniche. So there is a huge amount happening in the kingdom. And for me, I've been so fortunate that having worked with them in the kingdom and worked for the last 2 years with Seera to see that evolution. And it's really been humbling for me. It's an incredibly, the hospitality that I have been shown and the warmth that I have been shown in Saudi has been absolutely fantastic. And I think that obviously A lot of people know certain areas of the Gulf. They know Dubai very well. They know Abu Dhabi very well, and Oman. But for me, Saudi is very different. It's a very different destination, and in a very positive way, because it's a large country. It's almost France and Germany combined. It's huge. It has a population of 33 million people. It's a very big population. It's desert. It's mountains. You've then got the Red Sea. You've got the Gulf. There are 2 coastlines. And people don't realize it snows. It snows in Saudi Arabia in the north. You can go and ski. So not very often, but you can go and ski, for instance. But I think that what's great is, as I say, the government has continued our company, Seera, with our DMC, Discover Saudi. We have continued through the pandemic to use this time to continue with our projects and strategy of building a DMC. We've been doing a lot domestically, because obviously a lot of our clients at the moment can't travel on an international leisure basis at the moment. So they've been exploring their own country, something which a lot of people in Saudi have never done before. They've been exploring, which is great and it's fantastic, and we're learning a lot from that to obviously make it a great inbound destination in the near future again. And I think it will appeal to many people, and it's also great because we know that it will complement obviously people going into Dubai, people going into Abu Dhabi, into Oman. It will really open up the whole region for an amazing new experiences, basically.
Oh, that sounds so good.
And everyone's welcome as well. Everyone's welcome.
Oh, that's so cool. That sounds so good that new developments are happening. You know, it's just for all our brains and looking forward. It's just such a great feeling. Thank you for sharing this. We're looking forward to learning more here in the European market, especially as well. And let's see where the destination goes. Paul, talking about motivation, silver lining, every time you don't see so many news or press releases at the moment on new openings and this is going to happen and that, but you guys are pretty much taking it away. I think you have 15 or 16 openings planned. Tell us, because that's also a silver lining of this rapid development of Rosewood. What's going on?
Yeah, well, it's actually 24 hotels under development.
Okay.
But yeah, when I started the company, we had just 16 hotels, and now we're 28 in 16 countries. And our footprint kind of goes around the world. But yeah, we've seen a lot of development, and it all kind of kicked off with Rosewood London as the first next generation hotel, meaning under Sonia Chang's leadership. And it's kind of spiraled to Beijing, then to Hotel de Crillon, and then to our rapid expansion in Asia and some properties in North America. But the future is looking very exciting, especially for our partners in Germany and here in Europe, as our European expansion is going to see our collection grow quite a bit. So besides London, Paris, and Tuscany, we'll be adding the next property I have to think about this is Villa Magna here in my adopted home city, Madrid. We are rebranding and transferring that hotel and transforming it right now into a Rosewood. And that will open next year, fourth quarter. And then we have Porto in Sardinia, Venice, and St. Stephen's Platz, and of course in Germany, as I think most of you know, right there in Munich. Very much looking forward to that. And we just announced 2 weeks ago Amsterdam, and very shortly, keep your eyes and ears open. You'll be hearing more news coming from Italy. So our expansion in Europe keeps continuing, and we've got projects though all over the world, including like a private island in the Philippines. Our first hotel in South America, Rosewood Sao Paulo, will open next year. And to Hawaii, we have Rosewood Hawaii coming as well in a year. So
that's music in our ears, because that means you guys believe in the future of luxury travel and it's going to come back. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that amazing silver lining. Kirsty, I know you quite for some time now, and you are a very hardworking woman. If we come back to operations, I think all of us, we have never worked as much as we have now. I mean, I know. You told me you were getting, Middle East is very well known for using lots of WhatsApp, but you getting your reservations in through WhatsApp. You were sales, marketing, PR at the same time with people in furlough, etc. It's just been crazy. I would be interested to know, has anything changed in terms of sales and marketing approach? Because we are moving quicker and faster. How are you experiencing that? And do you have anything you would like to share on best practices maybe? What is going on? How do you cope with all that last minute?
Honestly, it has been a whirlwind. I don't even know where to start. Literally everything is direct now. I had the joy when everything closed and we furloughed our staff. I was lucky enough to be the only one left. For goodness sake, I'm not sure if that was lucky. And had to, within 2 hours, learn our reservation system and become the reservations manager, which I did, which was really cool. And in this part of the world, Rob will know this, there's no such thing as I'll get back to you. It's all on WhatsApp. So I think I have every customer from March until now that now directly WhatsApps me. The Middle East doesn't sleep, so WhatsApp happens at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning when anybody is awake, and it's like, do you have, and can I have a villa, and can I have it now, and can I have this, and all the rest of it. So we've I have the most amazing sales manager in the world. It's just himself and myself that are in sales. That's all that's left of us, unfortunately. And then I have an incredible reservations team that also now work completely on WhatsApp just about. And Rob was good enough to WhatsApp me for a booking today, I'm sure.
Oh, really? That's very cool.
Everything, and I guess this goes back to what Paul was saying. It's luxury that's traveling. They need an answer immediately. You need to provide for them immediately. If you don't, somebody else will. And we all know that we want the business as much as humanly possible. Our guests in this part of the world, especially from a domestic point of view, have incredibly high expectations. In Dubai, as a customer, we're incredibly spoilt regardless. So you need to be incredibly proactive and just give them everything that they want. So from our point of view, we've learned to do everything at the speed of light. And we say yes, as far as best practice goes. And I guess for us, there's no such thing as not getting your hands dirty. You just get it dirty and just move on and go for it.
Absolutely. And just to clarify, when you say most of the bookings are coming direct, you mean obviously agency bookings is directly to you? And direct, yeah, everything.
Everything. So obviously our wonderful DMC partners that have been horrendously affected in this moment, they're all as well trying to support their customer as much as humanly possible. So one time your DMC was fabulous, and they would go through the reservations channels and reference their contract and all of that sort of stuff. But these guys are really proactive towards their own customers now, and their own tour operator partners and travel agents and concierge services as well. And they know that they need to come directly to you. And I mean, we're extremely lucky. We're not an enormous hotel. As you said, we're only 117 rooms and suites and then 15 villas. So it's much easier for us to be able to react on a WhatsApp message straight away, as opposed to potentially a larger hotel. And hopefully we can help them as well. I mean, our partners are incredibly valuable to us, and they have supported us over the last 8 months. And hopefully as a hotel, we've been able to support them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I find this as well. I've never had so many personal mobile phone numbers of everyone, etc. And it's just, the contacts nowadays, that's king. If you want to serve your client, you have to know Paul, you have to know Kirsty, etc. You have to know them personally and more or less be able to call them day and night. I mean, this is very tricky. How are we going to get out of this again? But that's for sure, because
set yourself up now. I mean, now you are much smarter in the way that you can deliver stuff. So my beautiful colleague Rob will call me and say, I need this filler now. And he'll want a picture immediately. So you make sure it's on your cell phone, and you make sure the floor plan is on your cell phone. And I mean, Paul's laughing, but you just make sure everything is at a finger's button. And we're infinitely more capable of doing this these days because we have to. But perhaps we should have done that last year or the year before, but we didn't have the need to do it. So it's pushed us to do something a lot faster, better, in a more mature, proactive, guest-oriented way and partner-oriented way, hopefully.
Absolutely, you just summed it up perfectly. And you know this, absolutely, Paul, everybody's knocking. I mean, we really have, we have had to become so innovative and so active and be there really for everyone at any time, because going through this crazy time together. And I mean, for me, this was a big, huge learning curve. And I'm super excited always, because I think, okay, where is there a chance? How can we become better? What did we do wrong? How can we move on? And, I think it's a very exciting time. It's terrible because we don't know sometimes how to pay our invoices. We don't know, etc. What is to motivate the team. I hope they're not leaving because they're leaving the industry, etc. So much worries. But at the end of the day, we can continue. And talking about innovations, Timo, you're one of these guys that also never stands still and moves around like crazy. And you have used this time also in a very, very proactive way. You are out there as a punk, and as a lovely punk, as a great heart, you have your heart on the right spot. You created Reisen. I mean, everybody is doing travel through through Corona, and I'm getting completely mixed up, but you made something out of it. Tell us some best practices for Feinreisen, etc., because you are getting prepared for this, what's coming. You're getting prepared for these bookings. If people travel again, oh my God, it's going to be very short term, and we're going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, I agree. So where actually did this business punk came from? It's crazy, like so many articles and everyone's kind of, you're a business punk. Anyways, so yeah, we kind of, we all have to be kind of honest, right? When the whole thing kicked in March, everyone was basically kind of blown over and was like completely struck basically, because we didn't really know what to do about it. And then after like a week or two, you kind of, get on your feet again, and you try, what do you want to do, and what do you need to do with this situation, and how will it actually develop in the future? And so what we figured is as a kind of like a process that we've started earlier the year already, before Corona kicked in, is something where we said, like, as a broaden kind of idea that we want to push forward, is to put the personalities that are behind the company in front of the clients more, and not just be like this anonymous company that people have to talk to, but be more of a personal person of contact, basically. So and then we kind of sat together and figured out, how could we do that without, having to talk to any client individually, but making them feel more connected to the people behind it. And for us, as you mentioned in your wonderful introduction, by the way, is that I'm heading this company together with my sister Julia, and she's also in this call. And she and the both of us are very different characters, but we figured, since I'm more the person in front of the camera right here, and she's more like the controller in the background, it was very important to us that people would still know who are the people behind the company. So what we created is, adding, personal text into our brochures with personal signatures. What we added is, mailings out to the client where we talk about our employees and where they've been to and why they are an expert on their specific levels. And also something that came came into our minds very early, at a very early stage, was to create a podcast, which we then actually in one of these these webinars, we mentioned, we want to do the kind of a podcast because we feel that's something right to do at this point of time, because people can actually dream about going on vacation without actually having to go on vacation, but they still have all the kind of insider tips that we feature there whenever they want to go and utilize them, because it stays online on all these platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and so on. So I created my own YouTube channel, also personal YouTube channel, again, with all the personal ideas behind it, and launching a podcast, which is basically an insider podcast. When we figured we invite all of our German reps basically that are absolute pros in their destination. And we had destinations like Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, and California, and Canada, Atlantic Canada. So many different variety of, and then we had travel influencers that we talked to, that I actually talked to. So again, putting me in front of the camera there, and the feedback was amazing because it was, people reacted to it, they shared it. We have more than 10,000 views already on YouTube per video that we uploaded. So it's crazy how this whole thing develops. Obviously, it's still challenging. I don't want to just brag about that, but it's still challenging because traveling and advertising travel, it can be challenging at the moment, and as much love I've gained for that kind of region, as much hate I have probably also gained. You've actually followed that, Astrid. You've probably seen the comments as well, and but going back to where I actually came from is putting the personalities first, and that has to do a lot with trust, because I think in the future what people will look to is trust, because I think a lot of our branch has lost a lot of trust, not to all those wonderful companies that are in this call, but to other companies that haven't handled the situation very well, like airlines, for example. There are lots of airlines that haven't really refunded the guests, like huge tour operators that haven't done a good job, that were not reachable for their clients. So and as good of a job as we did, I think the whole travel industry kind of left a few feathers there. So what we have to bring back is basically trust. And I think the one best thing to bring trust back is actually having faces that you can talk to in front of you, and a personality where people see what you've done. So that's also one of the reasons why I kind of significantly engaged and tried to do something politically wise. So I have you talked, it's so great to have all the cell phone numbers of all the partners. I now have all the cell phone numbers of the politicians in Germany, major politicians in my cell phone, which is kind of great too. I'm kind of, people are probably annoyed by me already, but I'm just, I just love the travel industry and I fight for it, so hard. So I was in the press all the way. I was talking to, yellow press magazines and stuff that were literally actually aiming to discourage the travel industry and so on. So I was always kind of trying to fight for this industry, and with quite a bit of success actually in Germany, which is great, but that's not the point. The point is basically that I think people saw that we were engaging, that we were busy, and that we were trying to do something. And I gained lots of friends on Facebook because I think a lot of travel agencies started to follow me, a lot of other tour operators, a lot of people from around the world. So and I engage everyone to also add me there if you want, because it would be, I always love to stay in contact, and there was so many nice things coming out of that. So that's kind of our new strategy. And I think actually out of all the tour operators in Germany, I feel as if we will be coming out of the crisis really well.
Yeah, I mean, this is all, it really boils down to what we have said: relationships, personal, personal contact, and, feeling for other people as well, feeling and being there for them, and not always talking about business, but being there for them and listening. I think this is really what it boils down to, what we all can do very, very well. Yeah, that was amazing. Hey guys, I really want to wrap up the last question before, this is the last English loop phases this year. Next 2 weeks, we're going to have a German one. So this is actually the last one. We're looking back at this year. It's almost Christmas. It's amazing, guys. I just would love to hear from you. What is your silver lining of the best takeaway from 2020? And what are you really looking forward in 2021? Rob, do you want to kick it off?
Okay. I think probably for me, the biggest silver lining has been the ability to probably slow down, reflect on what I've been doing over the last number of years, being able to really take from that some positives, and spend some more time on solid ground, but also with like the ones that I love, probably spending more time on projects, etc., than I had before. So that's probably one of the silver linings. I just had a lot more time to really think, consider, and really pay attention to what I've been doing over the last couple of years, which has been really, really great. So, and I think for 2021, look, I really want to I know this sounds really corny, but I really want to go and see everyone. I want to hug everybody. I want to shake hands with who I can shake hands with, travel again. I want to show everyone that, look, as long as we are safe, as we said before, safe in our approach, sensible in our approach, to go out, to travel. I hope the vaccine kind of comes into fruition, and I really, really just want to get out there again and see everybody, because that's what I miss. It's human interaction. And the greatest thing for me that I've seen through our industry is the support that we have for one another. It's amazing to see. It's absolutely amazing to see the support that we've all had globally for one another, which has really made me very proud to be working in this industry, even more so than before.
Absolutely. So well said. Thanks, Rob. What about you, Paul?
I would kind of echo what Rob just said. I mean, it's kind of been a unique experience to be on the ground and not on the road with a suitcase every 2 weeks. My family took a little bit adjusting to having me home so much. So, but it's been a great experience, and I think really to sit back and have more of an open dialogue and communication with my colleagues, and just to take a look at how we are working together, share best practices, and just really be there for one another. And also, to really reach out to all of you and just to say hello. And I think that's the most important thing. It's the personal contacts, the personal relationships, and just a quick call to say hello, thinking about you, or a quick email. It's been really important, I think, just solidifying these personal connections that we have, both at home, professionally, and within our offices, our colleagues. So,
absolutely, yeah.
I guess looking for them in next year, getting back on the road, coming out, seeing everybody, being able to share a glass of wine and some laughs and to talk. And yes, I do look forward to those days, and I'm very fingers crossed for the next loop.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. We're planning April, so that's for sure. We are planning April. Timo, you first, and Kirsty is gonna take it home.
Well, just to say something different here, because obviously I can echo that as well. But it's what I also found to be really cool was the solidarity that we saw in this crisis. As I mentioned before, I've made so many new contacts and learned and so many new travel agencies that I talked to other tour operators that openly talked about their turnovers and numbers and stuff. So there was a great solidarity that we saw, which I think is something really great to see out of this crisis. And obviously the political context, that was quite an interesting time as well for me, I have to say. And then, outlook for next year. I hope travel will return much, much better than all the so-called experts say.
Yes, got it. Kirsty, take it home.
gosh, no pressure. I would say the silver lining out of this is that I have learned to be incredibly dynamic. Every month, hour, day is completely different. You never know where you are or what you're going to do, but you just do your absolute best. Flexibility towards partners, guests, staff is absolutely king. And beyond everything, Nikki Beach is about celebrating life. And I would say let's celebrate each other. Let's, after all of the dreadful things that have happened, 2021, when the ball drops, doesn't mean it's all over. But empathy and kindness is king. Let's love each other. Let's support each other in the industry. Let's give each other credit and space, and we can do this.
Oh, wonderful. So nicely said at the end of our talk. It's 6 p.m. We took 1 hour. Oh my God, we are so good, guys. I would like to thank you all for your input, for your content, for your love, seriously, for your passion. I'm the luckiest person to be able to do this with you. I'm the luckiest person to have our community out there listening to us. And yeah, let's just do it. We wish you all the best. Love you. Hang in there. If you need us, you know where we are. And to a wonderful 2021 for all of us. Stay healthy and happy. And thank you for being here. Take care. Big hug.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.